Hello, everyone. So, I think today the questions have already started pouring in. And where is Richa?
Richa's here.
Yes, both of us will be answering. So, what is the first question?
What does it mean work is aligned to your soul purpose?
You can take the question.
Essentially, work being aligned to your soul purpose is any sort of work that you're doing where you feel not just like physically, I'm going ahead and doing this work, but you feel aligned to that work. So, when you're doing that work, it also has a sense of fulfillment to it that we're feeling. We say we all have a divine purpose we have come here on this planet with. And when we're doing work that is aligned to it, a lot of things begin to work in our favor automatically. So when we're doing any work which is aligned with our purpose, with our true skills and what our role over here on this planet is, then automatically what happens is that things begin to align as well. So which is what we find a lot of times when people are struggling and they allow themselves to do something which is aligned to what their intuition says, how they feel at a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual level. If it's aligned to their soul purpose, things begin to work out in your favor as well. So it's about seeing what aligns to you and then doing that.
So, just to add to what she answered, before we come down on earth, we have a contract with the creator of why am I going down and what am I going to learn as a soul? What is my purpose of life? So it is something equivalent to somebody has hired you in the office. When they hire you in the office, they make sure that whether you need a mobile, a table and a chair, a book, a laptop, they will give you everything so that you can function and you can do work for their office. If the job or the work that you are doing is something that is as per your contract, then everything falls in place and it is going very smoothly. But if it is not, then things don't work out for you. It is if I'm not aligned with my purpose of life or soul's purpose. The universe conspires against me to make sure I walk on that path.
They actually have follow-up questions to this, which is it predestined, and how to find the work we are aligned to if we haven't found that yet.
Okay. Yeah. So your purpose of life is predestined, but predestined in a way not in what way you will execute it. So I would just give my own example. So as a student, I had taken admission in the science. I was a topper, and yet last minute I withdrew my admission from the science because I thought I want to be a doctor, but I am a very religious person and I'll not be able to cut a frog or do anything. And I entered into the commerce stream. So the 20 years, like post marriage, I didn't look at having any career. I was looking after kids. I was enjoying that. I was fine. But then a lot of health issues started coming in. Migraine, my intestines were stuck. A lot of things came in. And it was like the universe is conspiring against you, telling you that you forgotten your contract? And because none of the conventional medicine helped me, I took medication for 20 years. Best of the doctors, best of the treatment, nothing changed. And that's why I was forced to look at the alternate way of doing it. Started my journey learning hypnosis, EFT, past life regression, and other modalities. Understood subconscious mind. And so from that time onwards, started using it on my own self, and things started shifting. Being a logical person, I didn't allow anyone to help me out because it was in my life's purpose to help people. If I would have allowed people to help me, probably I wouldn't have gone deep inside, dive deep inside to get all the answers. Introspection wouldn't have happened. So the journey continued, and literally never wanted to work on anyone, but like people, you literally will pile on to you. Your teachers will send people and said, no, you work, you go to the hospital. So healing people was my purpose of life. If I would have become a doctor, probably I would have healed. So, what was destined was healing people. Now, whether I choose to do it being a medical practitioner or being an alternate healing practitioner, that was not the destined part. But the destiny was that this many number of people will get healed and you will be the facilitator. And the minute I took that first step towards learning it, till first 20 years, the universe conspired against me with number of diseases where best of the doctor's treatment didn't work. The minute I took my step towards it, the whole universe came to help me. Everything which probably could have made it easier for me just used to come on my lap. I didn't have to do anything. And it just helped me. Like I didn't even realize when how I learned when I started working. So this is what I mean by destiny. It didn't tell me that you do it by being a theta healer or by being this. It could have happened in any way. But to get and to be connected with people and to bring that change into them was a destiny part. How do I identify whether I'm working on my purpose of life? Again, the same answer. If everything in your life, the universe is working in your favor, probably you are walking on your life purpose. If you feel that everything is against you, then probably you are not walking on your life purpose. Something which happens very naturally, you are walking on your purpose of life. Something where you have to go through the struggle, your soul is not learning, and you require to understand that I'm not aligned with my life purpose. I hope this gives clarity to people. Yeah, question two.
So Amrita has actually asked how to identify karmic and non-karmic relationships. I think
Okay.
that's perfect for you to take.
So, Amrita, the karmic relationship, many times, with that particular person, there is sort of a deja vu effect also. We just feel we meet the person for the first time. There is a very strong emotion attached there. And that strong emotion is where we feel a strong anger, a strong, you feel so much driven, they're like, magnetized by them. You just want to be with them, in spite of lot of things telling you that probably one should not. Even if you feel fearful, you still get into a relationship. You do not know why do you feel so attracted to that person and how this cycle starts rotating. But when it comes to the resolution, I would ask you guys that rather than getting stuck, whether this is karmic or non karmic, just look at the situation from a very observer's perspective. In any case, both karmic and non karmic relationship has come to teach you a lesson of life and understand what is this person here to teach me. The minute you learn, till the time you will not learn, forget that one person. You will have the entire military standing there, one after the other, who is teaching you the same lesson of life. And that particular pattern will not stop. So the minute you identify your learning and you stop, the immediately either the behavior of the people around you, karmic or non-karmic, will change and you will be able to move on. Yeah, what is the next one?
Now, Amrita has just asked us follow up how to draw boundaries. I just told them you all can raise your hand and talk. It'll be easier.
Yeah. So when we say drawing boundaries is stop being control freak and stop interfering into others' lives, especially people whom we love also. Because constantly telling them this should be done, this should not be done. I think again I'll give an example to explain that. As a mother, I simply used to tell my children that my duty is to prepare your milk, to prepare the stuff for you. Now, when you go to school, it is you are not going there and getting marks for me. It's a choice you have. And for that, you require to go early because if you miss out the carpool or if you miss out your bus, even if you miss out being there in this school for your exams, it is okay. I really don't care because what marks you get will make you as a person and not me. You have a problem, you come to me. I'm not going to come and tell you every day. In fact, as a rule, we had stopped asking children, what did you do in the school? How was the school? What happened? Like, you want to speak, you speak about it. Then, slowly and gradually, kids learned there were days they missed out being on time. There were days, but they learned to be responsible. The other way of parenting is constantly telling them, do this, do not, why have you not got up? They are also so much used to it. So, probably that was the first time learned how to draw the boundaries. So, that was the biggest gift probably my kids had that their life is their responsibility, what they make of the life, and not for somebody else that they are making. Or in a relationship, rather than constantly, like for example, in a relationship of a partner, constantly telling them that or treat them as a dirt, like, oh, you do not know what to do, like, or so the way in which you would treat an outsider, you are more respectful to them. You will ask them, would you like to have this? Or when a guest comes, we prepare 10 items for them. The house is very clean. It's a very welcoming energy. Can you create that welcoming energy in the house with your spouse also? That is actually drawing boundaries. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, Amita Chaitanya. Amita, can somebody unmute Amita Chaitanya?
I've asked her to answer.
Morning. Can you hear me? Hi.
You
Yes.
Hi,
can.
Sangeeta. Hi, Richa. First
Hi.
and foremost, thank you so much for this amazing journey that you have taken me through. And I really feel a changed person, absolutely changed. And I'm so grateful to all of you, the entire Sista team, Sangeeta, Richa, and everyone. And a very good morning to everyone.
Very good.
Question is that I want to understand my relationship with my daughter. Meaning, as you know, that she's the only immediate family I have, and she lives in Himachal in Dharampur, and I live in Delhi. Generally, that's how it is. So I know that she's fond of me, and I'm an important person for her. I know that, but somehow she never gets in touch with me. She never shares anything with me. And it's not as if that she thinks that I'm a very conservative mother and I should not be talking to her about whatever is happening. So there is a total, it's a very unusual kind of a relationship. And I would want that I come to know what's happening in her life. I just want that. It's not that I want to interfere in any way. She has complete freedom. Whatever she wants to do, she will chalk her own path. But I have not understood what is it that I need to do to improve matters. Where am I lacking, if at all? I just want my communication, sharing with her to improve. What is the block is what I have not understood.
How does this make you feel?
It, I want to be connected with her. It makes me feel that
How
only.
does this make you feel when you do not know what's happening in her life and she is the only one, the person? Like, how does that make you feel?
Uh, at times, sometimes I feel that she's not interested.
How does that make you feel?
How do you feel knowing that there's no that connection is not natural, or she's not initiating it, or you feel like she's not interested? What feeling does that? What emotion does that generate for you?
I don't like it. I mean, I'm not able to spell the emotion in the
Yeah.
sense,
Whatever she is doing to you, where are you doing it to yourself? That is, so I'm right now not digging deeper, but the resolution part, since you are a theta healer and you have been a student, is Amita, look within yourself and for whatever reason, whatever traumas you have gone through, for whatever the reasons life took you through that ups and downs and the journey, a part of your energy got disconnected with you. And your daughter is simply teaching you and giving you a message to connect to yourself. And trust me, the day you will be connected to yourself, you will be shocked and surprised how much she wants to share and she is there for you. So that is the actual reason why this is happening and it will shift. If I have to give you on a cognitive level the answer to it, like my daughter is also here and as a mother what I had done which I will share, which is a very cognitive level, but the reality that the cognitive work doesn't change the reality. The deeper introspection and when we change our limiting beliefs, when we change our action, that changes the reality. So I would 100% suggest you to do a deeper work for it. You may require a heart song for that. You may require to clear the free floating memories and the series of tools that we use while doing it. The other thing which cognitively, so for example, you all know now by now that I have three children. So my second daughter, or like both my daughters, had the habit when they were abroad in the university. That time they used to communicate a lot and they will tell me everything, they will share with me. Mom, this happened. Mom, that happened. Mom, this nail polish I put. Mom, this is what I've done. Mom, I want to make this food. How do I make it now? My son went. Obviously, boys don't have so much of habit of talking. And one of the days, and I didn't tell him, like, so I'm giving the example just to know boundaries. And Amita's question also. And one of the days he said, Mom, you were unwell. You didn't even tell me that you are unwell. And like, I mean, at least you should have informed us. I said, like, what could you have done from sitting in US? What difference does it make? I said, no, but like, I am here for 4 years. I at least need to know what is happening. I said, it's a very simple boundary you have decided. Whenever you are unwell, we are never aware about it. You never inform us because you think mom and dad will worry. Unnecessary, you guys will worry so much about it. I can manage. Your message comes to me seeking help Not even for yourself, for your friends. My friend has a sore throat. Okay, what can be done? This one has this. What do I do? So you ask me all that questions for your friends. Are you telling me that in that entire you never had any problem? You never felt sick? So you very clearly gave me the message that one should be more careful about how much you hurt the other person and they will be worried. And I accept it. The rule is very simple. Either you start sharing your problems with us, and if you call up every day, probably we are talking general things. And then in that general conversation comes that today, oh, this happened or that happened. It's not that, after 1 month, I'm going to remember what had happened. So you get into the habit of calling more often, or let's both of us accept that we still love each other. So neither that I am aware of what's happening in your life, and you do not need to be aware of what's happening in our lives.
So that is what is happening in my case. I have
Yes.
accepted that feedback had, but somewhere I still feel kuch to connect.
In your case, what you really like, the first diagnosis, that working on yourself and your connection to yourself, doing
I
the things
I
that
feel improved immensely. That
you
is
have
really
improved immensely. You have gone, like, you've already, gone from base level to maybe a peak level. Now you have to climb the Himalayas. You have to do the last stretch. But there is no doubt about how much of a transformation you've already made. We've seen it. So we know it. But it's for you to acknowledge that you've already made the bigger steps that were harder, you've already taken. Now it just seems like a higher altitude, but it is the last stretch. And more than doing it for your daughter, you're doing this for yourself, because
absolutely. I
you
agree
know
there.
what a difference it makes to connect to yourself. Today, to see an Amita who's singing, who's happy, who's confident to do that. Now it's about releasing maybe those bits that when you had a chance a few years back, at that point, maybe you were not at the point in your journey where you were ready to release that. Today, you are. So give yourself that opportunity. It's not for your daughter, it's not for anyone else. You're doing it for yourself, just connecting to yourself and releasing those chunks that are holding you back. Because we know when that happens, you're really going to soar. That time, people will come to you, flock to you to talk, because you are going to allow your light to shine. You finally allowed yourself to come to surface level and breathe. Now it's about allowing yourself to actually shine. So just give yourself that nudge and release the bits that are there. Begin your connection to yourself in a complete manner.
And trust me, Amita, it changes. Today, like,
Definitely.
children share everything. Like, so we have a very open heart to heart conversation, each one of us. But that learning and, at what point, what message you pass on and all, and especially like not with the family, even with my clients. If clients' health doesn't improve, I don't question them. I question myself. What behavior they are portraying, where and what is my learning? Where am I doing it? And I make that change so that it liberates my client from having to be into that phase. Yeah, let's shift because we have only last 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank, thank you. Yeah, Karishma. Uh, Karishma, can you
Yes,
unmute?
yes, 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 yes. My question is like now you're always saying why the daughter is not communicating and all that. But my question is, I give unconditional love to my daughter, but she is very rude to me, very very rude.
Where are you taking yourself for granted? What is she teaching you? Is she teaching you to respect and honor yourself and prioritizing yourself? Did you learn it? Did you change? Did you start prioritizing yourself? The minute you will get all your answers, you change. You require first to stop being rude to yourself. And we be rude to ourselves when we allow anyone else to be rude to us. Is this making sense to you? Things happen, we attract the relationship where we are taking ourselves for granted. If you are taking yourself for granted, you started with, I love her unconditionally. So obviously she is being conditional to you. You are again on mute.
Not hear you, Karishma, when you say.
You need to unmute yourself. Yes.
Yes, yes. No, yeah, I was not getting allowed. Okay. Yes, I feel what you said, in many places I'm being rude to myself, not respecting myself.
Taking yourself for granted,
Yes,
going out of your way when it's not needed, wanting to, like, please. So we have not yet become Buddha. So I'm not saying to be conditional when you're giving love, but at least to know what I give comes back to me. The love that I shower comes back to me, and it is fine to have that.
Just
got it.
knowing that you
Thank you so
deserve
much.
it. That's
Thank
where
you. Thank you.
we have two things that are on chat, which I think we can quickly address. So Amrita said, connecting to yourself, yeah, baby in the womb and self-love weeks would be great to go to start the connection to yourself. And VSV has said, regarding karmic, read somewhere that karmic relationships will normally break in the end. How do we know if relationships with immediate family members is karmic or non-karmic, especially if you have them pressing all your wrong buttens? Then will those relationships also break? So, I mean, what I'd like to actually just say to that is that there is no rule which says that a karmic relationship has to break in the end. What we're talking about is that we're talking about resolving a karmic pattern so that that can get resolved and end rather than repeating itself again and again through different lifetimes and through different scenarios that you may be in. When you're going to work on what you're learning from that person is, what are they really triggering you, what buttons are they pressing that really trigger you, and where are you doing that for yourself, or what do you have to learn from that? If they're constantly aggravating you, challenging you, what are you learning from that? Are those challenges motivating you? What is it that you're learning is, whether it is to stand up for yourself, whether it is to respect yourself? The minute you will allow yourself to take in your learnings, understand your learnings, and to actually incorporate those within your life, your lifestyle, your behavior. No, it's not only about cognitively understanding, oh, my learning is to take responsibility. It's about actually then taking it or actually speaking up, whatever your learning may be. When you actually take in that learning, you end your that karmic learning that might be there. So what happens then is that your relationship can completely shift. If that person's role in your life was simply to come in and teach you this lesson and that was all, then they might phase out of your life. However, if that was just a part of what they were supposed to do, then what would happen is you would just see a significant difference in the kind of relationship you share. Much like any film that you watch. So, if you watch a film, you see all the characters have certain roles to play. The villain will have a role to play as well. In certain films, their role is simply as the villain. The minute the learnings happen, the villain disappears. But in some, you will see that after the learning, now they have a beautiful relationship. Now it's a completely different scenario. So it is very much like that, where we invite people in our life for the different learnings that we have, some karmic, some non-karmic. Like mom said, doesn't matter whether it's karmic or non-karmic. What matters is that you take your learnings from that so that there's smoother, happier relationships that are filled with growth and love. And the minute you do that, you will automatically see their roles evolve. No film is made stagnant. No film is made for one character to keep doing bad to the other and it never ending. So take your learnings and you will automatically see a shift that happens. I don't think we can. NG has raised their hand, but I don't think we have time for any more questions.
Yeah, I think uh, so. Can we just do a closing prayer?
Should we
So,
do a few downloads?
yes, please do the downloads and then we can close it.
Okay. So, can we download for each person that I know and understand the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of connection and what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to wholly and completely connect with myself, to connect with all aspects of myself, to love and accept myself for who I am and for all I am, to love and accept every part of my being and every part of my journey, to give every part of my being and journey that unconditional love and connect to it wholly and completely, to know what it feels like to take in any learnings that I may have from past lessons, that I may be able to accept those situations that may have been hurtful at a certain point in time, accept those people, that I can accept them wholly and completely and release the grudge by simply taking in the learning that those bring forward for me. And what I choose to carry forward is simply that learning ahead. And as I choose to carry forward that learning, I allow myself to experience growth, to experience shift, and to experience change. Knowing what it is like to create a beautiful present and future for myself that has all the learnings that my journey has bestowed me with, that I see them as valuable and allow these learnings to guide me forward rather than the pain to restrict me, that I allow myself to move ahead in life, connecting to myself, connecting to those around me, communicating within myself, and communicating with those around me in a manner where the communication, trust, connection, and respect is mutual. Knowing and understanding communication, respect, connection, and trust as per the definition and perspective of the creator of all that is from the seventh plane, that I choose to do so, that I know what it feels like, how to, when to. And as I choose to connect to myself and shine my light now, I know what it feels like to be in true alignment with my soul purpose, to allow myself to be connected to my soul purpose and to connect to the work, to connect to the things that are aligned to my divine purpose, my divine timing, my soul purpose, and for me to allow those to come forward for me so that I may be able to walk on the path of my divine timing and fulfill my purpose here with joy, with grace, and with happiness. To allow this path to be a beautiful one for me, to be a simple one for me, for it to just be lit up with my light and the guidance, love, and light of the creator of all that is. Can we download these feelings into each person that says yes at all levels of their belief systems, into each and every cell, atom, molecule of their body, every area of their life, in any and every language they may have ever known or understood, for their highest and best, and in their highest and best manner? Say yes and just allow this energy to come in and seep into every cell of your being. And thanking the Creator now, just Father, Mother, God, Creator of all that is. Thank you for giving us this divine week, for giving us all these amazing understandings on relationships. May we each allow our relationship within, with ourselves, with the universe, the creator of all that is, and with those around us, to be beautiful and to be full of love, growth, happiness, and joy. To allow balance to sing through these relationships. To know that you're with us now and always. Thank you. So just allow yourself to open your eyes. So we hope you all have a beautiful week, and this week has given you a couple of take backs as far as relationships are concerned, different dynamics within relationships are concerned. And a big thank you to everyone from Team Sesta, and we look forward to seeing each of you on Monday.
Yeah, so just a reminder, uh, Monday onwards, it is beginning at 8:30 and not at 9 o'clock. So please put a reminder in your mobile that it's half an hour early, because if you log in at 9 o'clock, it would be shut. Monday, we are bringing a very well known, renowned Ayurvedacharya, like Ayurvedic doctor, on the panel, because you guys had requested for post COVID symptoms and what should all be done. So that guidelines will be given to you. We will also take it. So emotionally, how it gets connected, that part we will take, but majorly, like what to build your immunity back and what should be done, that he will speak. So please put in your queries about the post-COVID symptoms, because then he will be able to address it. And so remember, Monday onwards, we all meet at 8:30 sharp. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you from Team Sister. Thank you. See you all. Have a wonderful weekend.